A lot of goats right here, but who created the greatest cinematic universe? Last place I gotta put C.S. Lewis in the Chronicles of Narnia, a real titan with the literature, but his movie adaptations just couldn't keep the momentum. Got off to a strong start with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but just faded out over time. The world building was beautiful and rich, but relied too much on Christian allegory instead of like some deep internal history. Narnia is still a classic, but they just don't have the massive modern fan base like some of the options above, but still a pillar for 20th century children's fantasy literature. Above them, I put George R. R. Martin with Game of Thrones. Not too much of a footprint in the cinematic universe, but made billions when it came to TV and streaming, and the world building, which is masterful, rivaled by one other person when it comes to politics, geography, and histories, and just dominated the zeitgeist of the culture in the 2010s. He proved that a dark adult fantasy that's uncompromised can rule mainstream TV. Number 8, RP to go Akira Toriyama, really the pillar when it comes to global anime culture, was already massive in Japan, went around the globe, not as much box office as everybody else, but the world building expands from just Earth to multi-universal gods and timelines, and inspired sports, music, and the culture, and it's the blueprint for modern day shonen. We wouldn't have shows like Naruto and One Piece and so much more without him. Number 7 is Gene Roddenberry with Star Trek, really laid the groundwork for modern fandoms as we know it. Now, he was consistent at the box office, but historically was overshadowed by Star Wars, but the world building for Star Trek was really cerebral when it came to alien politics and tech specs, and inspired some real-world technology like cell phones and tablets, and Gene was a pioneer when it came to progressive social commentary and sci-fi TV convention. Number 6, J.K. Rowling defined a generation with Harry Potter. The box office, she was killing a multi-billion-dollar run, and she really made a hidden magical world feel tangible when it came to world building. She inspired the reading habits of millennials and Gen Z, and she resurrected the young adult fantasy genre in books and movies. Number 5 is Walt Disney, the most influential pioneer, but not that focused on one universe. Box office, do we even need to talk about it? Now, the world building, there were strong individual worlds, but they didn't have a cohesive, interconnected universe during his lifetime. But his legacy created family entertainment as we know it, and also pioneered feature-length animation and cinematic sound. Number 4, Satoshi Tajiri created the highest grossing media franchise of all time with Pokemon. Now, the films were good, but if we're talking overall revenue, he's sitting at like 100 billion plus. And the world building was really immersive. We go from region to region, exploring over 1,000 different types of Pokemon, and has been relevant for over 30 years, and really changed storytelling across games, anime, cards, and movies. Number 3, RP Stan Lee. We love Marvel. I mean, the MCU made over 30 billion at the box office, and when it comes to world building, probably my favorite, weaved and interconnected hundreds of different characters in one shared reality, dominated the 21st century, and rewrote the playbook for Hollywood and how to create a film franchise. Top 2 but 2 is J.R.R. Tolkien with The Lord of the Rings, the godfather when it comes to fantasy world building. His movies won 17 Oscars and made billions of dollars at the box office, and the world building, absolute peak. Created entire functional languages, some deep history and maps, and completely changed the way that people visualize elves, dwarves, wizards, and magic. Directly inspired almost everybody on this list. But the top one who created the greatest cinematic universe, I'm gonna actually get that to George Lucas. Made billions across generations and fundamentally created the summer blockbuster, and the world building was so complex, spanned over thousands of years, planets, and political systems. And when it comes to legacy, the quotes, the characters, and the concepts are embedded in culture forever, and also changed how we use special effects, sounds in movies, and how we merchandise film products. But you know, I hope you're not stupid, and I hope your brain is really rotted us. Share some whip it if you're mine, but let me know who created the greatest cinematic universe. Anti-out. Peace.